And now we've reached Chapter 5. I think this is the longest route we've ever had. Right? Oh! Snow! I got my summons from Otori right after the Matsumai domain fell. The Matsumai domain until then governed the island of Ezo. If Hijikata-san and the rest of the loyalist forces were to operate in Ezo, the Matsumai was, by necessity, their first target. I crossed to the island just as Otori had instructed, booking passage on a Russian merchant ship. Ooh.
Yeah, Yukimura-kun.
When I arrived at Hakodate, it was Otori who came to pick me up. Thank you so much for arranging all of this. I gave him a short bow, and I repeated what I heard in the boat. Congratulations on establishing the Republic of Ezo.
共和国なんて大げさな呼び名だけどね。
After conquering Matsumai, they wasted no time in establishing the country that had been proposed back in Sendai.
細かな人事を決める選挙も終わったし、ようやく君を呼び寄せることができるようになったよ。
I forgot there was an election. Oh my god. And yes, Hijikata-san was on that election. He did not win. Elections?
君は初めて聞く言葉かな。選挙っていうのはね。
Supposedly, an election was a political process used in America to elect leaders into their government. According to Otori, every person receives a ballot to vote, and the candidates, as Otori called them, with the most votes, holds the country's political power. So, everyone has a say about who's in power? I'd never heard of such a thing before, but it seemed like a good idea. Until it doesn't work properly. Which... yeah, it doesn't work properly. We'll leave it at that.
共和国の総裁は榎本さんに決まったよ。皆を取りまとめられるのは彼しかいないしね。
Okay, I was thinking correctly. It was Enomoto who actually won the elections. I think Hijikata and Otori were either tied or one had just like 10 votes above the other. I can't remember what order. Otori had taken the post of army minister, while Hijikata-san was made an assistant army minister. Infantry magistrate, a term referring to the Republic Visor's infantry and military units. Assistant army minister, an executive position in Ezo that oversees many of the day-to-day activities of Hakudate's strategic planning and initiative. It is an elected position.
待っているだけの3ヶ月間はやっぱり長かったかな。
Yes. I nodded. Still, the fact that they'd already defeated the Matsumai domain and established their own government spoke well for the excellence of the former shogun's military. We had faced so many hardships and personal losses, so this felt like a step forward, a glimmer of hope. To me, of course, those 3 months felt like years, and only now was the dust settling in my heart.
エゾに来てから土方君は少し変わったよ。
Eh? Different? How?
部下たちにはとても優しくなったけど、自室に閉じこもっていることが多い。そういう時は決まって物思いに沈んでいてね。そばに誰も寄せつけようとしない。
I wasn't quite sure what to say. Otori seemed to sense it, and instead of continuing the conversation, he reached into his jacket to remove an envelope.
きっと彼には君が必要なんだよ。
Me? My heart skipped a beat.
この書状は僕からの辞令だよ。細かいことは土方君に渡せばわかるはずだから。
Thank you. took the letter from him and bowed. The year was coming to an end. I changed into the Western clothes I brought because I knew it would take time to get used to them, and I headed for Goyohaku. Goyohaku. There we go. Goyohaku. Ah, this is gonna be hell to say. A star-shaped fortress built in Hokodate. It made use of European-style fortifications and served as the chief fortress for the Republic of Izel. The main hall was full of people, all of them there to celebrate the establishment of their new government. But Hijikata-san wasn't among them. He was in his room, alone. I took a deep breath, then wrapped my hand. I keep saying head. What is wrong with me? And wrapped my hand against the door several times in quick succession. Otori had called it knocking and told me that it was customary to do it when opening a Western-style door to signal whoever was inside. Ah, right. I like this. This is interesting because you get to see Western things coming into an Eastern environment and having to get used to those types of things. It's just interesting. After a few seconds of silence, a tired voice drifted out.
絶対に出席しねえって言っただろう。今は浮かれてる場合じゃねえんだ。
He's gonna be surprised. I knew that voice very well. I put my hand on the doorknob and turned. Excuse me. He turned towards the door, preparing a half-hearted tirade for whoever intruded on his solitude. When he saw me, the words froze in his throat. Chizuru Yukimura reporting as ordered. I've been assigned to serve as Assistant Army Minister Hijikata-san's page by Army Minister Otori. His mouth worked soundlessly for a moment, finally closing with a snap. Was his jaw just open? Because this bastard fucking ordered us to be left behind, but no. We would not leave him. Mostly because Otori. He stared at me intently for several more seconds. Then he frowned.
何かの間違いだろう。そんな連絡は受けてねえ。
I handed him the letter Otori had given me. I received these orders from Army Minister Otori earlier. He snatched the envelope from me with a scowl and tore it open. Excuse me for a second, it's water time! Today the water bottle is cooperating and not making too much sound. Okay. His eyes scanned the paper rapidly, his frown deepening with each line. Otori, what did you write? What have you written down? When he finished, he shot me a sharp look and thrusted the letter and its envelope back into my hands.
持って帰れ。こんな事例は認めねえ。
I take it back, apparently. I understand. I nodded and took the letter from his outstretched hands. Then I tore it to pieces.
何してんだ、お前。
He looked shocked. I don't care if you want to prove these orders. You shouldn't have relied on them in the first place. I tried to force Hijikata-san to let me stay with Otori's orders. Now I saw how wrong that had been. I hadn't come to Ezo because I was ordered to. I'd accepted Otori's help and came to Ezo because I wanted to be with Hijikata-san. That was all that mattered. I came here because I wanted to. I want you to let me stay. Here. With you. I couldn't let orders be the reason. He had to make that choice.
父に部下を送り込む指揮官が女をはべらせててめえだけいい思いなんてしてられねえだろうが。
Is that why you left me? He fell silent and shifted uncomfortably. Stop this! Before I realized it, I was yelling. Hijikata-san looked equally surprised. You always do this! You decide you can't do something, then you make up all the excuses you need to justify it. You say you're doing it for my feelings without even knowing my feelings. When he left me behind, Hijikata-san had said that he couldn't make me happy, that I should go live my life. But he was what made me happy, and I wanted to live my life with him. Now he was trying to push me away again, so that he could bear his burden alone. I couldn't let him do that. You take on so much, and you won't let anyone else help.
それが俺の役割なんだよ。俺に何とかできる問題なら、俺が苦労すれば済む話じゃねえか。
What about the people who have to watch you do this? I'd watch him torture himself this way for too long. Every hardship, every burden was his and his alone to suffer in solitude. And I hadn't been the only one. Inoue, Yamazaki, Kondo-san. They all had to watch him, and so had plenty of other people who cared about him. I can't let you do this to yourself. I want to be here with you. I want to help you. What else am I supposed to do? Hijikata-san suddenly became blurry, and I realized that there were tears filling my eyes. He fell silent. After several moments, he sighed and slumped.
参ったな。
I blinked. I had no idea what he was talking about.
江戸の女には逆らえねえんだよ。言うことを聞かなきゃいけねえ気がしてくる。
His voice was gentle, and he looked up with a worse smile. I'm still saying that wrong, I'm pretty sure. Then suddenly, his arms were around me. It was so unexpected, but I let myself sink into his chest, speechless. He held me tightly. It was as if now that he finally had me, he didn't ever want to let go. He stopped, and I could sense him trying to organize his feelings. I got the impression he was confused.
いくつか分かったことがある。
His arms tightened. I picked up on his scent, and I breathed in deeply. Whatever distance has separated us in the past was long gone now.
俺はお前に支えられてたらしい。
He sounded slightly bewildered, as if even he couldn't believe what he was saying. He wasn't the only one. Am I able to be of any use to him? Was I able to alleviate even a smidge of his pain?
お前がそばからいなくなると、一人で立つことさえ辛く感じられた。
With each word he spoke, my heart swelled warmly in my chest. Each word descended like snowflakes, gently gathering onto the soft ground.
俺はお前の存在に救われてたんだろう。
I could feel the warmth of his body touching every part of mine. I couldn't stop crying.
千鶴、新選組は今も武士の道しるべだと思うか。あいつらが惚れ込んだものを俺は引き継ぐことができてると思うか。
I nodded. The soul of the Shinsengumi that our friends believed in is alive in you. In fact, I think it's even stronger now. We've been through a lot, but it's brought all of us together.
お前にそう言ってもらえると気が楽になる。
His voice was warm. I could sense that he was happy from the bottom of his heart at the response I gave him.
今の新選組に鉄の掟は必要ねえんだ。大使どもは志を持つ侍ばかりだからな。
Hi. Everyone in the Shinsengumi now had the unity of vision that brought a clarity of purpose, hopefully meaning that Hijikata-san's burden would lessen a little. Well, from now on, please don't try and hide your problems from me. I'm here to help you. You don't have to do this alone anymore. It was a sincere request from me. He was silent then, but his arms stayed wrapped around me. Then at last, he spoke. I moved closer, as his voice was barely above a whisper.
そばにいてくれ。
That phrase alone had so much meaning behind it. I had nothing more to say.
雪村先輩、お久しぶりです。俺たち先輩が来るのをずっと待ってたんですよ。
And we get to see our boys. I love these two. I genuinely can't wait when we do Soma's route, but Soma's route is not on the table yet. Soma, Nomura.
どうでした？感動の再会は。
What do you mean by how was it? I couldn't answer him with a straight face, so I muffled my voice. Nomura's face blushed with color.
雪村先輩と離れ離れになってから副長は物思いに沈んだ顔をしていることが多くて。
My brain was to say that these two had some involvements with whatever it was that Otori gave us in the letter, but I don't think they would. I think it was purely Otori, but we can headcanon it.
やっぱり副長のおそばには先輩がいなきゃダメだって俺たちも痛感しました。でもこれからはずっとお二人で一緒にいられますよね。
Yeah, I'm sure we can.
懐かしい声がすると思ったらあなたも蝦夷地に来ていたんですね。
Whoa! I knew that voice. We haven't seen him in a damn long while. Huh? Alright. Iba! You're safe! Hachiro Iba, a warrior who served in the Battle of Hakone, despite having a serious permanent injury on his left arm. Oh. Alright. Oh! I didn't notice the injury. Do you guys see the injury? I see the injury on his left arm. Holy shit, it is bandaged. Huh. Oh. But you're injured.
新政府軍との戦いで少々手傷を負ってしまいまして。
伊庭さんはこの間の選挙で歩兵頭並み遊撃隊隊長に選ばれたんですよ。
Infantry head, a leader who commands low-ranking soldiers in a military unit. Really? That's fantastic news! Congratulations!
この体でどれだけのことができるのかは分かりませんが、こうなったら最後までトシさんと共に戦い続けるだけです。
The Shinsengumi is a symbol of the true samurai. As the words came out of my mouth, Eva's expression softened and he smiled proudly.
早くからトシさんたちを見出した僕は先見の明があったってことでしょうか。ここでなら僕も武士としての生を全うできる。
Eva.
何かあったらいつでも声をかけてください。みんなあなたとトシさんの味方ですよ。
I shall.